Rockin' the Ages is a bold, forward-thinking video podcast that reframes aging, playing it out in periods like an exciting game of hockey. I'm Cheryl Soloway, and at 64, am on a mission to dig deeper, find the best strategies, and cut the fluff. I ask the tough questions, and I get clear answers so we can all say, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Let's do this together." Some lives are measured in years, and others are measured in courage, curiosity, and the willingness to keep saying yes. Today, my head is bowed, and I am so humbled to introduce to you today's guest, Christa Jenkins. Christa was born in Vienna during the war into a world of uncertainty, but what followed has been a lifetime defined by adventure, resilience, and an extraordinary love of movement. From skiing as a young girl in Europe to building a life in Canada, Christa carved her path through the mountains of Jasper and Canmore and raising a family while coaching, racing, and climbing some of the most iconic peaks in the Rockies. Christa embraced opportunity at every turn, from heli-skiing in British Columbia to living and working in Saudi Arabia, leading desert expeditions and diving in the Red Sea and trekking into the Himalayas. Christa didn't slow down with age. She accelerated, competing internationally in masters ski racing, winning national titles, and continuing to push herself until she stepped off the race course at 78 years old. And now, at 86, Christa Jenkins is still skiing, still moving, still exploring, and still showing us that the human spirit doesn't age, it evolves. I don't know about you, but this gives me the most vibrant shivers. So let's go. Christa, my head is bowed. For you to say yes to being my guest today, I've been thinking about this episode a lot. I want to start by sharing with you where I think we feel this connection in Rocking the Ages. My whole premise is that life is very much like a hockey game, that we live our life in periods. Like you play in a hockey game, boy, that first period, your body's really cooperating and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, and then that second period comes along and who knows what you're navigating. And then comes the third period in a hockey game, and maybe you're up 3-0. Well, you better not take your foot off the gas, or maybe you're behind and, you need to sharpen your skates, but you certainly need to keep changing your strategies throughout your life. And when I look at your amazing history, Christa, one of the first things I see is this athletic mentality. And this athletic mentality that I believe has led you in the right direction throughout your life. So can we start a little bit by just reflecting on that? You were an incredible skier at a very young age. Describe that to me.
My norm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was outside playing with the boys soccer, and it was going hiking and playing tennis, but everything, and especially skiing. We had an opportunity, and I didn't realize it, but I became better. I became noticeably. I was competing with the boys most of the time because there weren't that many girls where I was, and so that's how it developed. And when I became in teenage age, that they noticed that I was
really
good and had some.
So how old would you have been when you were already being picked up to be on the junior ski team?
So 14 and 15.
14 and 15.
Then then I tried to do this whole theme by working out on my own. I got some training schedules and do it on my own and do localize the training, and it worked very well. From that on, I already realized I have a schedule to do. I had to walk and run so many times and do some personal exercise. Worked with some weights, which were just big stones, for instance.
This was a few years ago.
This
was like
50,
70 something years ago.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and that, Then I had when I finally came to a big race, I did have an accident.
You had an accident. So at 16, you're devastated for the moment, I would think.
Yes, I was.
But you picked yourself up and decided to immerse in your studies. Is that correct?
Right. Yes, and I went to England, and then I went to France, and I continued in pretty much the subject that I liked, languages, recreation, and fitness.
Was that common, Christa? Was it common for young girls from Vienna to get to go to England and France to study?
I don't know, but I was fortunate enough. We had the relatives there.
You did.
And so it was also the thing I could get away from home, and I could stay with my relatives and could go to school there.
Right. So now you're in what we're describing in this first period of life. So you're still under 30.
Yes.
When did you meet your husband?
Well, in my early 20s, I met my husband in England. And that was already, by that time, I had already developed a little love for climbing.
Really?
Rock climbing, which I did.
Who was rock climbing in those
Yeah,
days?
exactly. But mostly some of the people I met, and that was the other side of what I loved. And hiking, of course, my parents and my mother was a big hiker.
Really?
So on weekends, even when we were little, pack your rucksack and we go for a 10-kilometer hike.
That's
on
amazing.
Sundays. Yes.
What a healthy upbringing.
I think that was it, and it was my mother who really initiated that. I mean, my dad too, but not as much. Yeah.
So you meet Cheryl, and are you both in school?
Yes, by that time. And so we met in a students' club. He had a French student staying, and that's where we met. And then we had a friendship and then a relationship. My dream was going to Canada.
Is that
going
right?
to the Rocky Mountains. No other place.
What was the story like in those days about, like, my grandparents, so much older and they're gone, immigrated to Canada. So I've got Ukrainian grandparents on my dad's side, English, Scottish on my mother's side. And of course they were promised, this unbelievable life to come to Canada. What was drawing you then? What was the story you were being?
No, I didn't. We didn't get any story.
Okay.
My passion was from the time I was 13 years old, I was always on my atlas, on my maps, and figuring out mountain ranges. I don't know why, because I had this inner feeling I needed to go there. And that's how it developed. And when we were in England, I said to my husband, "Do you want to go to Canada with me?" and he thought a little bit, and he said, "Yeah, then we can get married." And that's it. We had to get married before. So we went.
What a great story.
A few days later to the registry office. We got married.
Well, you were in England. This is in England.
Yes,
you get married before
England,
you come.
Yes.
Again, though, talk about saying yes to things.
Yes.
It just seems like you've had this life of saying yes to adventure.
Yes, it was adventure. It was adventure anytime. And it was this foggy London day. And we in, I think, 62, about 62. And we said, let's go to and we walked along, and there was the Canadian embassy, the Canadian consulate. And we said, well, should we go in? We could hardly see the street because there was so much fog. And we walked in, and we said, we would like to apply to go to Canada. And the guy said, have you got any plans where you want to go or here? How soon would you want to go? We said, as soon as you can get this going. We had a little money set aside, and he said, do you need some money for the fare? I said, well, we could have,
This is a Canadian consulate.
Consulate, yes.
Asking if they can help finance your trip. Oh, my goodness, people.
And they said, where would you like to go? And we said, to the Canadian Rockies in the West.
You were that clear.
Want to go to the West? Everybody goes to Toronto City. Don't you want to go to the city? And we said no. We had no idea where we were going.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
And we went within 2 months or 3 months. It was the end of May, and it was a crossing on the Atlantic, and it was choppy and horrible. But every minute was exciting to us. So
she had a pretty darn good first period, I'm going to say. I think you already scored a couple of goals in your first period. You were rocking it. Your body is cooperating. And so now you're still in your 20s when you get to Canada.
Yes.
And where do you move to right from the start?
We ended up in Edmonton.
Okay.
We took this long train journey that we boarded in in Quebec City. No, it was in Montreal.
Okay.
Quebec City, we deported. And we sat on the train, and all of a sudden, it is days where we don't see a house or where we don't see any cities. We come from Europe. Every 10 minutes is a city. We've never seen this. And we said, looked at each other, where are we going to go? And that was 5-6 days along the train. And one time we stopped, and there was this tiny little blown shack in the middle of nowhere, and we kept looking, where is the town? Where's the people? Nothing. We just that's what it was. And every moment was exciting. We had nowhere to stay. Nothing was planned. We sat there with our 2 suitcases, and there was a welcome person expecting us, which was really nice. We had no idea. And he said, I'll help you. I'll find you there's a little hotel over there, and we can go there till you gather yourself, and then we find you a place to rent. And that was that.
Was there any language barriers for you at that point?
No, there wasn't, because I spoke very well English.
Very well.
French. I said, where are the mountains? We haven't seen the mountains yet. And he said, okay, we'll take a trip to Jasper. It's about, 8 hours in those days.
I'm feeling a match here already.
And then he took us to Jasper, through the mountains, the hills. And we looked at that. This is where I would like to.
You fell in love again. Fell in love with your husband, and then you fell in love with Jasper.
Yes, Jasper in Hinton. First of all, we lived in Hinton for 1.5 years. And it was wonderful because
Wait a minute. Back that up. You lived where?
In Hinton.
In Hinton? I think I figure skated one crazy week in Hinton.
Yes.
Tiny.
It still is. It was a logging town, but they thought, well, you might find work much easier. My husband was then, an engineer, but he needed something practical, actually, for him.
Wow.
We needed to stay in the city, but it worked out fine. He found a job, and there were some people that we met. They were both from the States, and the husband was from Norway, and they had a ranch up there, a young couple. But he was also a lecturer in archaeology, and over the winter they went to the University of Rome. And they wanted somebody to look after this wonderful ranch. It had a cowboy and horses, and it was wintertime, snow, and it was so exciting. We thought we are in a movie,
Oh my goodness!
And it really was amazing.
Wow. Chris, already you're speaking my language. It's funny. Almost from the moment I have met you, I feel a kinship. I feel a familiarity to your life. I just grew up in little town Saskatchewan, but I feel too like I've always said yes. I've always wanted to see what the next adventure is and the next chapter could be. Yes. Now, this whole time, would you say already fitness still keeps playing a big part of your life? What's your life like now in Alberta?
I mean, the moment we arrived, finally, we managed to come to Jasper, and we wanted to live there. That was it. And we met friends. A lot of them were first-time immigrants from Switzerland, from Italy, from Austria.
You just attracted
Germany,
each other.
We did, yes. They all loved the mountains.
Right,
so
makes
we started
sense.
all skiing, met them on the ski hill, and in the summertime we formed a group, and we saw all those beautiful mountains, and we started climbing.
Now, were they T-bars? How did you get up the mountain in those days?
That's right. In those days, there was a little T-bar, and it started off in the late 60s.
Can I ask, when did you start racing again, or have you been racing all along? Like, when did that door reopen for you?
When I was in Jasper.
When you were in Jasper.
When we were in Jasper, we had a big ski club now. We founded a big ski club, and everybody, there are some from the older generations, they had it going, and they were holding races, and people came from Banff and Lake Louise.
Oh my goodness,
and
those days.
Started, yes. Meantime, I had the children too.
Yes.
So I had to a little bit stay home sometimes.
You sure did. Tell me about your children.
Well, son was born in 64. Yeah, 64 and 67.
64 and 67. I was born in 62. So
Yes.
I could be friends with them.
Yes, exactly. So it was also lovely because all the other girls had about the same age children.
Yeah.
And we either met in the summertime out on the lake. We had two beautiful lakes where we spent the summers practically
Really?
on Lake Annette and Lake Edith. And it was just the most wonderful time. And on weekends, when we had a day, we went climbing and hiking. We packed them all up and hiked up Whistler Mountain. We didn't take the tram in those days. Our kids can tell you.
Yeah.
And then furthermore,
Really?
we had contacts with the Alpine Club, and I began taking courses in the summer, ice climbing and
You're a young mother now with
Yes,
two kids.
That's right.
And now you're starting ice climbing.
Yes. Well, that's what it was.
That is so crazy good.
And we took several, and then involved in the Alpine Club and planned trips. But we always had the children too, on weekends, and we made sure that they came as well.
Right.
We started skiing.
Right.
And then I started, went into races as well when there was time. There were adult races and started again winning some. Then I began working at the ski school, which suited me. I was approached, would you like to teach? And at first it started with the children from school,
right,
and so on. And then I ended up teaching and coaching. And one day Nancy Green came, the special Nancy Green at the time.
Is that right?
After she just won the Olympics. And we had a good talk. And she said, Christa, this is a good place. You could start a Nancy Green League. That's how that started, the junior leagues for upcoming racers. That was her idea.
I wonder if you met her son, Willie.
Yeah, well, at one point, but not. I saw them once, but not.
I see.
Ever knew.
So just funny stories. I play pickleball every Thursday with Willie. I play pickleball tonight. And Nancy Green's son, I play with him. And we chuckle every time about, how the gene pool, he should have been a better athlete.
Yeah.
Boy, the connections.
The connections, exactly.
Oh, it's so heartwarming.
And, that it was just wonderful always meeting the right people,
right.
As you said, with your connections.
Now, I'm going to jump ahead here a few years because you also told me a story that when you were about 40 years old, you started teaching at a Curves gym.
That was much later.
Okay.
It was when I was 40.
That's what, I'm jumping.
We moved to Saudi Arabia then.
Oh my goodness.
I gave up everything. It was but this was the adventure. When my husband got this job offer, he said, would you feel like going to Saudi
Arabia? What year then were you offered this position or area in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, when we were 40.
You're 40.
40. That was the first time, about, 39, 40. And we had this lovely little house we built in Jasper, looking in the mountains. And all the friends and the
two
sun.
Kids.
And the sun was shining. Yes, it's taking. But then we said, but we always loved adventure. I had to give up everything. But I said, let's do it. And we did.
Oh my gosh.
We did.
Really? And how old are your kids at that point? First time?
15, and our daughter was then 12, 11.
That's not easy to get kids to want to leave friends and home.
That's right.
And again, this adventure that you're encouraging them.
Exactly.
Oh, Christa.
And so that's what we all did. And we had a wonderful times. We didn't have to. It was not, if you didn't like it, you could turn around and go home.
Exactly. Isn't that always the way?
That's it. I said, there's always an out.
That's always. Always. You only regret what you don't do. Not what you do typically.
Exactly.
Well.
So anyways, then we did accept this. We came there, total different lifestyle. It was all summer things and swimming in the Gulf and all that type of thing, tennis. And
you did scuba diving.
Scuba diving, yes. Then I had a job there as returning students coordinator. So because there were 10,000 expats living there, and all.
Did you say 10,000?
10,000.
Wow!
Yes.
Wow!
About 7,000 in Dhahran, and then 3,000 and 4,000 in smaller communities. But all of them the students had to leave when they were 14 years old.
Really?
Because they did not want the students there. They seem to be having experience with problems.
Okay.
But so they went to boarding school.
Okay.
But during that time, they always had 3 months or 2 months in the summer. They had to come back, and we had to find a way of entertaining them.
Okay.
So that was outings in the desert, scuba diving, and
so that was your so-called job.
Yes.
Doesn't sound too like a bad job. No, it sounds pretty pleasant. So then, are you a prolific scuba diver?
Not prolific. We super enjoyed it when we were there, because it was, outside and you could do it. We went to the Red Sea for the trips.
Yeah.
But I'm not, because I'm a mountain person. So actually, I was quite happy when we came back to continue my life in the mountains rather than under the sea. I was wondering how I would do under the sea.
Exactly.
That if 80 meters down.
It is not something natural.
No,
for a lot of people.
That's right, because I was really good in high altitude. I was actually genetically suitable to do high altitude climbing, which I then did, my little excursions in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed scuba diving too, and it wasn't that much.
Wow. I'll share that I just did my scuba diving certification 5 years ago. So I'm 64.
Yes.
So basically just as I was turning 60. And funny thing is, here in Vernon, in the middle of winter, so I did it in November. I started by going to a small farm in Lumbee in a Quonset, so a covered Quonset, little indoor pool, snow all around the outside to begin my training. So again, talk about saying yes to opportunities. And it wasn't anything natural.
No.
But my husband loves scuba diving. And we wanted to make sure that in this next period of our lives, that, I was prepared or could join him.
Yes.
But it wasn't a natural fit.
But you have to stick together, and some things you just need each other.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of that. So again, you and me, we got these similarities that are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to scoot ahead because we could do about 8 episodes with you. When you left Saudi Arabia, what happened next?
Well, that was about 7 years. And we stayed for 7 years. And I think it had to do, we decided it's time to go back home. And immediately my skiing friends from Banff and everyone contacted me. I was on the ski hill, met here, there, joined the adult racing group. And it was just another new beginning.
Oh, my goodness. So, folks, we're just in the beginning or middle of the second period. Still lots of game left to play. We still have lots of time to cover. So I'm going to shoot you ahead because in reading your bio, you were sharing with me something that caught my attention, which is that you worked at a Curves. So I want you to race ahead to where are you and how old are you when that episode happens?
We just came back finally from Saudi Arabia.
Okay,
because
our second
trip from the 90s from 89 till 2000. And we came back to Canmore.
Okay,
Canmore,
to Canmore.
We had already a place there, and we had it set. And then I thought, well, what do I do now? Aside from skiing, and I looked for a job, and I met this lady, and she said, "Just opening a curve," and I went
Curves.
there. A Curves. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, I love it.
And it was just when it came from the state. I don't know, from the States. So there she was. She was about the same age, and I had to take the little course showing people how to do that.
Like working on the equipment sort of thing?
Yes. Okay. They were all very easy.
And you're 40 at this point?
No, 60.
What?
60 the second
You're 60 years old at this point?
Yes, 60.
And you're getting your new career at Curves Gym.
Yes.
Give me a pound on that one. Oh my God, I love this lady.
And it was so cute.
I'll say.
The lady who owned it wasn't very athletic, but she was a good businesswoman.
So would you say this is when you first really got involved more with weights? Like all your life you've been fit. All your life you've had an athletic mentality and training. But
that's was actually in Saudi Arabia.
It was, hey?
I started when I was 40 because we had lots of people sent from the company entertained. There were 2 big fitness centers to instruct people what to do. But quite frankly, I was almost always by myself in there, especially in the afternoon. People just didn't come. And when we had swimming pools, and then I did a swimming class for teaching in trying to introduce the native ladies to come to learn, because they used to go with their whole gear in the water. And that's what they still do.
Goodness. You better be a good swimmer when you've got that much material pulling you down.
They couldn't swim, but it was just even going in there. And the
This
thing
is funny.
was and when we had them in the pool, that was the funniest part. There were guards sitting outside guarding the pool. Nobody was allowed to enter because a few of maybe half a dozen of them would come, and it would be hard. We showed them to take the clothes off. We each brought an extra swimsuit. We put them on them, and they were all very shy. But the shyest were nobody can see their face. Their face or their hair are the places that cannot be seen. The rest of the body, okay. So whenever somebody tried to sneak in, they would go, "Oh, a man," and they would cover their faces. But the rest of the thing, the swimsuits didn't fit that well, but it was just so amazing.
Well, I'm glad we shot back onto that story in Saudi Arabia. I didn't want to miss that. So you got involved in almost like weight training and teaching weight training in Saudi Arabia.
We had one woman coming from Texas, and she was a bodybuilder. So we all took the course doing the bodybuilding exercises. And from then we went and adapted.
How far down the road did you get personally into that?
Not bodybuilding.
Not bodybuilding.
No,
okay.
I just wanted to stay fit.
Right.
Because by that time I was doing a lot of tennis. Tennis was my thing.
Of course you did. Yes.
So I had to stay fit for that.
Of course. Can I ask you, do you recall at that point in time, I don't know if you'd see these people in Saudi Arabia, but were there fitness leaders in the world that caught your eye?
Not really.
Not really.
Because our TV exposure was not very much.
Interesting.
We had a very censored channel. Mm-hmm. Even for our programs, I had to always censor everything, the movies we showed. So we didn't know, we were not just what we got.
So Christa, again, I'm going to scoot you back to now you're 60.
Yes.
And you're working at Curves. Can I start to ask you, now we're into the third period.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine. So from 60s.
We're getting into the period where I'm probably the most keen to learn and the most keen to kind of hear what your advice was. Along this journey, did you have hiccups? Did you find, your body was changing, or hurdles that you were recognizing was becoming difficult? Let's go back 60, which is 26 years ago for you.
Yes.
Not like,
Yes.
Do you recognize there's been times in your life that you were noticing change and what you had to do to stay fit? Can I go there with you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I did feel the changes late before in Saudi Arabia, because my competitive tennis, I must have slowed down, but I didn't accept that.
Good.
I didn't think so.
Good.
Except when my partner finally said, I'm going to find myself somebody that's a little faster than you are, that's a little better. Then I realized, something is happening. Yeah. When people say,
that's funny.
You have where you change of life or anything, I never felt that. I never felt it because
you didn't let the old man in, right?
No, because I was hot and sweating all the time when you exercise.
Yeah.
And other than that, I just didn't accept it.
Again, she just speaks my language. So I'm addicted to pickleball. My husband and I are both addicted to pickleball. And Christa, there's nights here at Predator Ridge on Friday nights I'm playing. And often there's probably 6 30-something-year-olds out playing.
Right.
And I'm just going to share this story because it took me a while to figure this out. And sometimes these young boys, I'd be playing against them and I think, whoa, you're good. You're really good. And then they'd start playing with me and I'm like, it doesn't seem like you're trying that hard or you're all that excited. And then it finally dawned on me that these poor 30-year-olds are going, oh, great. I got the senior citizen as my partner, right? It took me a long time to kind of put that together. that they're not thrilled about playing with me.
Yes,
And I'm so thrilled about playing with them. So very similar. I know exactly.
Yes. And I notice, in climbing, there's a noticeable decline in what where you're going up and what you're going to, which rocks. So you take the easier routes.
Okay.
You're not going to do the really tough ones.
You're not ready to stop.
No, but
you have to adapt.
You have to adapt.
You have to change your strategy. You have to sharpen your skates
yes, exactly.
Interesting.
And do things a little slower. And in general, I was very fortunate at that time that my friends who have the helicopter skiing business wanted me there all the time to ski with them and their clients and help out their clients.
Okay, we have to back this one up again.
Them out of the...
I have to keep backing you up because one great story just leads to the next great story.
Yes.
So how old are you when you discover helicopter skiing, heli-skiing?
Well, actually, I was very young. When I was teaching in Mammoth, all the heli-skiing began.
Oh, it did?
And in those days was still 2-meter skis, and it was not very easy. But we were the instructors. If we had people interested in the ski school, we took them heli-skiing.
Wow.
We had to teach them, how to make a turn, and that was very important in those days. Every opportunity, especially when I came back in the 60s, I did quite a bit then with my friends. Till we were 75. And
you're helicopter skiing at 75?
Yes, we were. Bonnie had this club, and I don't think I wrote it in there. It was we are her special beavers. We are all over. We started all over 70, and she had about 25 people there, and we were heli skiing, with her.
Are you scared?
No,
not really.
No,
you don't let your mind go there.
No.
Hey,
no. It was just fun and joy.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, it was fun and joy. Yes, it really was. Everything was fun.
So, in this group, what would the age bookends be?
Well, she started when we were around 65.
65.
65 to 75. Yeah, 65 to 70. And then you should see some of the pictures she took, We had to toplessly sit in the sun, in the snow, and they took a picture of us. I have it still. The beavers. Big beaver masks, hold it together. Yeah.
That is priceless.
Yeah. That's
Is this still happening today?
No, sorry.
And I know from your bio, you actually raced. And you said you stopped your last ski race at 78.
That's right.
What happened on that day? What did you wake up on that 78-year-old day and go, okay, I'm done?
Well, yes, because I was living here by that time. So I had to train always to go to Alberta in the winter, back and forth and back and forth. And that's when I realized that's hard.
Yeah, and you've been so successful. You've done it. You've enjoyed every second of it.
I mean, they still call sometimes. Yeah. If somebody takes me up now to a race course without me having to get dressed in the morning and to go there and all this and travel, I could do it.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be afraid. But it's really the little things that are getting dressed.
So far, I think we're at 75. Okay, Christa. Now I think we've got you up to, you're in your 70s.
Yes.
Heli skiing.
Yes.
I think I got to shoot you now up to 86 because I need your wisdom. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions now that are quite related to my Rocking the Ages program. So in my Rocking the Ages program, I've got these 7 keys that I would like to hear, your impression on. I'll name them for you first. The first key is mental health, mental attitude, mental fitness. That can be quite a large category. Number 2 is gut health. Number 3 is posture. And posture is just, the way you carry yourself, the way you, do that. Mobility, flexibility is 4. Number 5 is strength, but just being strong enough.
Yes.
Number 6 is family, community, friendships. And then number 7 is self-maintenance, sort of a fun little category of what we want to do. And we just feel like, polishing our car and making ourselves look good. But I want to start by saying, I think you've really rocked the age improving, first and foremost, that mental attitude and mental fitness is such a huge key.
That's exactly it. The balance. I was always looking then later on to keep the balance.
The balance in what way?
Between mental and physical.
Okay.
Mental
Great.
and physical. That's the balance.
Yeah.
Not too much of this, not too much of that. Use your intuitiveness. Listen to my body.
Yeah.
When sometimes I'm due to go to the fitness center, and I just said, not today.
Just don't feel like it today. So you let that happen. You listen to that.
Yes. I'll rather have a glass of wine with my husband, and we go tomorrow.
Again, another pound. I like it. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to share. I like listening to lots of different people, and I had a spirit guide or girl that I worked with, and probably about 10 years ago, maybe 10 and 15 years ago, she said to me, you know, Cheryl, you're going to stop teaching such hard classes, because my ego for a little while was, you know, people would come out of my fitness classes and go, oh, that was so hard. You know, I was so sore. And she said, you need your ego to get over that hurdle and realize that when you start teaching softer and easier, everybody's going to benefit more, including you.
Yes.
And no truer words could have been spoken.
Yes.
I have learned so much from that,
exactly.
that by pulling back and being more balanced in the way I approach my fitness.
Do. Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily equate with easy, but it is softer. It's kind to my body.
Kind of to your body. Too.
I don't want my body to suffer. I don't want my body to be in pain. I want it to always be benefiting.
That's right.
And I think that's what you're referring to.
Yes, exactly. I was too always. I had to stick with the heavier weights, and I was, I have to. And then I realized it's not helping me.
Okay,
it's not helping me. I'm down 2-3 weights, but I'm still doing it.
Exactly.
That's all. That's all we can.
I mean, can you touch on gut health? Have you noticed, periods throughout your life where you either struggle with managing your weight or struggled with your gut health? Now at 86, can you think back to periods in your life? Tell me about that.
Yeah, definitely. I did always feel I have a slow metabolism, but we just kind of with exercise and with your adrenaline always going.
Yes.
It's sort of
I'm sure you could eat more liberally because of how active you were.
That way. But we also are sometimes a little bit too fussy, and say gluten, flour things.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, can't eat them anymore.
Exactly.
I can't have a soft bun, whether I want it or not. My husband still eats the odd. What does he like? Raisin toast with cinnamon. And I said, I can't.
Seriously. And what do you feel then?
Well, yeah,
just uncomfortable, bloated. Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
In my first episode, Christa, I shared that for me it was around early 50s and premenopausal, perimenopausal, that I was getting like this gut.
Yes.
And it took me a while. It took me probably 3 or 4 years. I read the book Wheat Belly.
Yes.
And finally went, I think it's gluten. And I think all my life I've been able to eat toast for breakfast, have a sandwich for lunch, and pasta for dinner.
Yes.
Suddenly, I just could not.
No.
Things were changing. And, as our hormones I'm starting to put together, I did a great episode with Dr. Christine Hatfield that lives here at Predator Ridge.
Yes.
And Dr. Hatfield was sharing that, we need to be far more aware of connecting our hormones and our hormonal changes with our guts.
Yes.
That you just cannot simply keep eating the same way. No. And it's not just the calories.
No.
Checked off mental health, you've checked off gut health, you're check. Let's jump ahead to, what are your thoughts on mobility, flexibility? How much of a priority is that in your fitness life?
It's number one.
Tell me how you manage that.
Well, I'm supposed to. I try and do every morning, like my exercise. I start. I'm laying in bed, and I'm doing leg exercises. Before I get
Christa, so I'm working right now on both an audiobook, so that people while they're lying in bed can just put their AirPods in and listen. Because too, I think even before you get out of bed, it should be a priority. And it's about my slogan is make it a habit.
Yes, yes.
Make it a habit
yes,
before
yes.
you get
Yes,
out of bed.
Out of bed, yes. And I do only a few minutes. And then the rest is once I make breakfast and put the breakfast, feed the cats and the animals
Yeah, yeah.
and my husband. Then I go after I have my coffee and do a little more. I go out in the backyard and I lift. I have a little lift and I push it up and down and come on in and lift, do a few leg lifts, and it's very small, 10
Very
minutes.
small, but it's a habit.
That's what I have.
And you don't wait to the gym.
No.
This starts every day.
First in the morning, and we have a bar over one of our tents, and I
Do you hang?
bar. Yeah, a little bit, just straight.
Double pound. Oh my God. You're just nailing it. Like, that is so good.
That's all I do.
That is so good. So, because there's a big connection, they're saying now, between grip strength and they're connecting that with falling. And that studies are showing that somehow that grip strength is all being related to your body in general.
Yes.
And you are hanging.
Yeah. I do.
I bought a chin-up bar that I put up downstairs maybe about 2 months ago.
Yes.
I think I've used it 2-3 times.
Yes.
Yeah. What I do have at home, and I'll show a video of it on this, I have a portable ballet bar. So it's movable.
That's nice.
And so I can get underneath my ballet bar and do chin-ups and do pull-ups, assisted with my feet on the floor.
Good for you.
I think, you guys, that's a very good tool in the toolbox that you can have forever.
Yes.
Forever.
Exactly.
So you've got mental, you've got gut, you've got mobility, flexibility. So now we're going to jump ahead to strength training, because I got to say, Chris is a bit of an icon here at Predator Ridge. When she's at the gym, everybody is watching. You obviously, you know what you're doing. You're good in the gym.
Yeah.
You're not just there to,
No.
So tell me a little bit about your gym routine.
Well, I had to, recently, and you have to update it always a little bit.
Good.
I had to reduce weights. I had to reduce on the weights.
When you say reduce, tell me you've gone from what to what?
Say for instance, on my arms and shoulders.
Okay.
I used to do 50, but now I have to go down to 30.
To 30.
To 30.
So you're on a barbell, not dumbbells, a barbell, okay. You were at 50.
Yes.
And now you're at 30.
30.
That's good.
So my leg, I'm still maintaining the
leg press and the leg extensions. Yes. I saw you on those.
So I go up, but I start slowly, always 70, 80, 90, and I can go up to 120 without bother. I used to go 130 or more. That I feel it.
Right.
I feel it there.
Right.
If I do too much. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I'm glad you're sharing that.
Yes.
That you're recognizing that.
Yes.
When you've done too much.
Too much, then I feel it in.
You shouldn't be sore.
No.
You might be a little sore for one day.
Yeah, but
you shouldn't be sore for multiple days.
I can exactly feel its tendons and that kind of things. Yeah.
Chris, I'm going to share this morning too. I've got a friend, Sue Hintzman. She's in New York City, and she's created what's called the MELT method. But what's really kind of groovy is she and I both were really involved in exploring fascia. I'm going to say 20 years ago. I actually did a video on small bowel releasing that was to do with fascia, and I wrote a small book, a manual on fascia releasing.
Yes.
And I hear more and more, I don't know why it's women that seem to be more in tune with their tendons and that soreness, but there's two reasons.
Yes.
With the dropping in estrogen and as we lose collagen, our tendons is what suffers. Exactly. And often women will jump right from tendinitis, sore tendons, into tendinopathy, which means a tendinopathy means that your tendons are now already breaking down.
Right. Exactly.
But now we're also connecting some of this stiffness to fascial. So fascia is like a spider webbing that holds your body together.
Yes.
And that as fascia loses its fluidity, water content, your whole body is getting stiffer. So there's now
dried out prunes.
Yes. Yes. Drying up, man. We're drying up. But that feeling of your tendons feeling not just tight, but kind of just stuck and stiff is this hydration thing. And this is pretty new in the industry. We're coming up with some solutions to saying you don't even want to overstretch sore tendons. If they're stiff
that's right,
and they're lacking fluid,
that's right,
stretching them is not smart.
No. No, no.
So you're totally on target with that.
Perhaps it's just intuitive. Yes.
Very intuitive.
And the yoga and that's so important. I have a little roller at home. If my back gets sore always,
you?
Then I just in the middle of something like vacuum cleaning or whatever, and then I jump in. I roll the back.
Yeah, roll. That is rolling out the soreness, the fascia, the knots.
Yes.
Self-medicating.
Yes.
Christa, you and I have both been so blessed that fitness has come to us naturally. And we go back to relating that to having that athletic mindset.
Yes.
It's been a gift. We've enjoyed fitness.
Yes.
We've enjoyed it. It's not a job.
Yes.
With your experience, and I'm sure you've helped people along the way, what's your advice to people that it's not natural and they don't love fitness? What would you tell them?
That's a hard one.
That's a hard question. It is.
Because I love it. So I can't identify.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to go to the fitness center.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say.
Because I feel for that.
Yes.
My advice typically is that you don't have to go to the gym. What you were just alluding to earlier about making it a habit, what you do at home. Is so valuable. So people, all this hype about having to go to the gym.
No.
If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. And so don't beat yourself up about it. Follow Christa's lead in that. Just find the little ways at home to make it a habit. Whether you're doing some squats, some lunges, holding onto the kitchen counter.
I always have a few weights there too,
Exactly.
Weights. You just do a few things.
Or getting outside. Yeah. Going for a walk can be a walk. It doesn't even have to be a hike.
No.
Right?
It's a walk.
Now you can
do walk every day.
You walk every day?
Every day. I have to get out, otherwise I go crazy, My mind does not like it.
Do you know what an inspiration you even are? Are you aware of that?
No.
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't.
Yeah. So, everybody knows you. Everybody knows
I never noticed
about you. Okay, Chris, we're gonna cover one more topic because I don't want to make light of it. I find the seventh key on self-maintenance can sound a little bit about vanity and ego, but it's not. Yeah. We polish our car, we take good care of our car so we can take good care of our bodies. And sometimes that means beautification. So whether we put on makeup, I've had my eyebrows tattooed, I've had my eyeliner tattooed, fun stuff like that. And we should not feel the least bit embarrassed about it, right?
No.
But there's also the other self-maintenance keys that are, I think, more medical. And I'm curious. I need, some of the eye doctors and dentists to come in and help explain. You on a personal level, let's start with your eyes. How is your vision and your eyesight been as you've been in your third period of life?
Pretty good. Yes. I did wear contact lenses since my 60s, early 60s.
So you didn't even need contact lenses till your 60s?
Yeah, yes.
That's good.
And mainly for sports and driving. Yes, I did need them. And I wore them. Now I kept asking them, can I have cataract surgery so I can put permanent in? Because it was expensive over the years. It's like $1,200 a year.
Okay.
And no, you don't need them yet. You're not ready yet.
Really? So you did not have cataract problems. Like cataract problems are a different set. You kind of feel, people describe it as a film over their eyes.
No, none of that.
No,
not really.
You just thought that putting in these contact lenses constantly was
getting bothersome.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because I don't have the dexterity in my fingers.
Okay.
That was one of the things.
Interesting.
So
you had lens implants, and it sounds like.
Yes. I mean, you choose your lenses.
When did you have that done?
Well, that was last year.
At 85, you had lens implants.
Yes.
Was it successful?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Immediately?
Yes, immediately.
Wow.
They do it's Bernard's, and they do a very good job. And
you went to Bernard. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd like them to do an episode. I'd like to pick their brains. But the moment you had your lens implants, you came out and your vision was significantly improved.
Absolutely.
And now no contact lenses.
No. Well, I mean, I keep calling them, they're the permanent contact lenses.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
And then they say you'll never need glasses again in your life, right? Basically, they say...
Basically, yes.
That's incredible.
For things.
Can I ask what that cost?
Well, generally, I mean, if I chose the higher lens, so it was about $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah.
Huh.
The rest of it is taken care of by
Okay.
healthcare.
Okay.
But it's just the choice of your lenses. Yes.
Fantastic. How's your hearing?
That's good.
His hearing's good.
Too good.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you're
Yes.
blessed.
Yes, I am. But on the other hand, again, when the neighbor starts drumming, I go crazy because I hear it so well as if he's in my lip.
Oh.
You know?
Chris, I was at book club last night. I feel like I'm always bringing up my book club, but one of my friends there is 62.
Yes.
And in the middle of our discussion, she finally reached in and pulled out her hearing aids. And she said, these are making me crazy. She says, they're not making me feel like I'm hearing that much better and almost echoey. And so that frustration of trying to figure out, what does work, when our hearing aids, when's the right time to get them. And we want to keep exploring that because I'm curious.
Yes.
I think my generation has perhaps had earlier hearing loss from, I remember being 18, 19 years old and running with our Walkmans and then, teaching fitness and listening to our stereo equipment louder and louder. And I worry a little bit that my generation has damaged our hearing sooner. Rather than...
Especially the visiting. I mean, even in movies. I haven't been to a movie for 25 years. I can't stand the sound.
Is that right?
It's too much. Far too much.
Yeah. Well, what else then in my fun category of self-maintenance? What bugs you, or what do you wish at 86 you want to maintain or work on?
Well, I would like to have lush hair.
You'd like to have lush hair? Me too.
Nice hair that I don't do.
Oh, your hair is lovely. It is lovely.
You lose it,
It does get thinner.
Nice longer eyelashes and, eyebrows. I might do what you do.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a chore.
Yeah.
In general, there's enough makeup around too.
I see a gal, her name's Heather Polak, and I've tried to get Heather to come on and do an episode. Maybe she will. I'll show her this clip.
Yes.
Because I've had my eyebrows tattooed and my eyeliner tattooed because I don't have a lot of hair. I don't have a lot of eyebrows to work with. And so to put some color in them, it's been, and then I don't have to worry about makeup. Right? So I think that's an episode that would be fun, that we all want to feel like we look like we feel.
Yes.
Like let's look as young as what we feel inside. We should not feel at all silly. I'm laughing too when you talk about your hair because I found when both my brothers have homes in Scottsdale. So I find when I'm visiting, I'm in the desert.
Yes.
And I'm out shopping. It's like every woman just seems to have a great head of hair. They look so perfect. And finally, it was my sister-in-law that said, Cheryl, they're all wearing wigs. It's like, no.
We're trying to be natural, but too much.
The rest of the population is just putting on a wig. And they look fantastic. So I would like to learn a little bit more even about that little...
But I always wonder how it is when you're playing golf at 40 degrees and you have this wig on your head. So hot. Jump in a swimming pool, how it
Oh my gosh. We can have some comedy acts, I guess, about that. But it's fun to have a sense of humor about it.
Yes.
And still fun to think about. So when I figure out the wig situation, I'll have you back on, and Christa, we can do another episode on wigs.
Beautify. Wigs, tees, toes. Yes.
Thank you so much. Double hand. You have just been an absolute pleasure. And I can just hardly wait to keep following your journey. And I think next I'm just going to see you in the gym.
Yes.
What a life. What a reminder of what's possible. Christa Jenkins doesn't just talk about aging well, she truly lives it through every chapter, every country, every mountain, and every challenge. She's continued to choose movement, curiosity, and connection. And maybe that's the takeaway for all of us. It's not about where you start or even what gets in your way along the journey. It's about how many times you're willing to say yes. Yes to the next experience, the next challenge, and the next adventure. At 86, Christa's still skiing, still exploring, still fully engaged in her life. And in doing so, she quietly asks all of us a very powerful question. What does your next chapter look like? Because no matter what age or stage you're in, there's always another mountain to enjoy climbing. So, hey, if you enjoyed this episode, please help this program to grow by hitting those share and like buttons. Thanks for joining us on Rocking the Ages. And until next time, keep moving, keep exploring, and keep rocking your age. I'm Cheryl Soloway.